data, we're actually very fortunate because they all have full first name, last name. There's no date of birth in the UI data, obviously. But the first names and the last names are fairly clean. So doing the data match was actually not all that difficult. We got most of the matches by doing an exact match. And then we did some substring of the first names and the last names to account for some transpositions. A lot of Hispanic names would have two last names, kind of, like Lopez Vivas, my sister-in-law's last name. Sometimes she might just be Lopez, and so we want to be able to account for that. And then we also took into account that the first name could be in the last name field, the last name could be in the first name field, the whole name could be in the last name field. So there's basically 16 combinations that we accounted for in that. And then after that, we didn't have a whole lot left to match. We had a pretty high match rate. We got ended up matching about 82% of the class of 2011 to 2015 with the motor vehicle data. But we did have some left. So there we basically used, we did the work in R. There are several different algorithms in R that you can implement with the string disk package. The most successful one was the Jarrow-Winkler algorithm that really kind of creates a pretty bright, not exactly a bright dividing line, but it's developed by the census in the late 80s. So we used that for kind of the fuzzy matching part of it. Probably got 1 or 2% of our matches from that, so it wasn't a whole lot, but a lot of it was because the quality of the data was really good. So then we took that, since that effectively allowed us to assign a social security number to each DOE student, and so then we matched that with the unemployment insurance wage record data, and then we calculated median earnings and rates of employment in New Jersey for the class of 2011, and then did group buys to summarize those results for each school district in the state. That we're working right now with the Department of Education. We've briefed the performance team at Department of Education on that, and they're trying to figure out a way to roll this information out to the schools. We've also calculated remediation rates at the public colleges and universities in New Jersey by matching with the higher ed data. And some of the remediation rates, I mean, as you can imagine, a lot of schools and a lot of high poverty areas around New Jersey, the students are going to have very high levels of remediation. So they're kind of trying to figure out how to roll this out and do it in a way that doesn't make people afraid and react in a negative way and feeling like it's a gotcha, but actually is a way to, how can those schools improve and districts improve? So.
Questions for New Jersey?